Jason and Monica.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Metro Lac Series, which is live streamed at WashingtonPost.com. Today's matchup features the Gonzaga College High School Eagles versus the Bullis Bulldogs. I'm Monica Moore alongside former two-time All-American Cab Maddox. We're going to be joined by Brandon Roth a little bit later, but Cab, these two teams, you have to imagine there's a lot of great early season lacrosse going on, but these are two of the best to see matched up against each other this early in the season.
Definitely, for sure. They're two of the top 5 teams in the area. Traditionally, they play a very close game. The last 4 or 5 years has been 1 or 2 goals. It's always an exciting match.
Let's go ahead and feature some of our players to watch. There's a lot of big names for both of these teams, but for Gonzaga, who do you think is the standout for them on the field today?
Well, Gonzaga's top player and leader is Connor Reed. He's a Johns Hopkins commit, and interestingly enough, Bullis' top player is Nick Fields, also a Johns Hopkins commitment, and we are hoping that Nick will guard Connor, and that should be an extremely exciting matchup of 2 great athletes.
And so for both of these two teams, they play each other season in, season out. Last year it was a very close game. What do you think are the keys today for Gonzaga?
The keys for Gonzaga are going to be to play the style that they want to play, which is fast. They are deep, they are athletic, and they want to move up and down the field. Conversely, Bullis wants to play a disciplined, more deliberate style and control the pace of the play. And that battle right there between slow and fast is going to be a key to who wins today, I believe.
So we'll certainly keep our eyes on who is controlling the tempo out on the field and which coach, therefore, is most happy with the way that the game is progressing. Both of these two teams lost some big-time players last year to graduation, but when you look down the rosters, there's so much talent. You have to imagine, though, that for Bullis, losing goalkeeper Ryan McMahon, that's going to be a big story today to see how they're filling that gap.
Well, young Brandon Burke comes from a long line of great goalies. His 2 older brothers, Stephen and Jordan, who played here at Bullis, both played at Hopkins and Brown, respectively. He's the first righty goalie. Coach Policino told me, the Bullis head coach, told me that Brandon is the first right-handed goalie in 10 years here at Bullis, between Ryan McMahon and then his 2 older brothers.
Wow. So a bit of a change there for Bullis, and we'll get a look at how he does early on. Of course, Bullis already has 2 early season wins on their schedule, and this one is one that I imagine has been circled on the schedule for quite some time for both of these two teams.
Well, they had a nice win over Severn, who's a quality Baltimore NIAA program. They won 4-3. And yes, this matchup is exciting, like I said, but going back since 2005, these teams have split. The series is 3-3, and so this is Game 7.
Coming back to the booth. Reset us.
And again, thank you so much for joining us here at the Metro Lac Series live stream at WashingtonPost.com. This is just one of a series of lacrosse broadcasts we're going to have over the next few months, featuring some of the best teams from around the Washington, D.C. metro area, Landon, Georgetown Prep. We're going to have the absolute best, so you're going to want to keep tuning in. And again, you can watch it on your tablet, on your computer. You can send us a message at #MetroLacSeries so we can get your feedback and know what you like and what you want us to do and what teams you want us to promote here at the Metro Lac Series. And we are almost underway. The team's starting to take the field. And Cab, one thing we talked about that might be a factor today is just the heat. It is unseasonably warm for the DC metro area today. It's cooled off just a little bit, but these teams were out here pretty early on warming up and preparing for this game.
Yeah, we were shocked. Bullis is in dark blue, and it's probably high 80s, low 90s on this turf, on this field turf. It's always a little bit hotter than the air, but it is very hot for March 15th.
The goalkeepers there heading to their respective goals. Number 5, we've already talked about Brandon Burke, who's going to be in the cage for Bullis. And then no surprise for Gonzaga, in the goal will be Timmy Farrell, who started 16 games last year as a sophomore, so got very seasoned, particularly on Gonzaga's run to the WCAC championship. And this is certainly something we're going to keep our eyes on all day, which is the face-off battle between these two teams. Both teams would like to get the early possession here. It will be Stuckey facing off against Baumgartner, and Gonzaga winning the first face-off of the day.
Eric Baumgartner was actually one of my impact players to watch, because I feel like the face-off X is going to be vital to their victory today. He got the first one.
Matt Bowman operating for Gonzaga, moving behind the goal, trying to evade his defender, and a quick shot. It will remain Gonzaga possession.
We have a flag down right now, so they got to keep it in the box. Bullis went offsides on the ride.
And that second shot was by Connor Reed, the player, Cab, that you highlighted as a huge impact player today. No doubt we will be saying his name a number of times throughout this broadcast.
They called delay of game on Gonzaga there. That's a tough call. They were setting up their man up and they called delay of game.
So a tough break for Gonzaga to start things out. Looked like they might be able to start off the game with a quick score. They took 2 shots, but instead it's going to be Bullis here trying to clear the ball. Bullis taking their time. Not a lot of urgency here.
They have 30 seconds to clear now in the NCAA rules.
Aggressive defense by Gonzaga on the ride. Bullis able to hang on to possession, finally working their way downfield. And this is Kyler Ballistri right here, the top returning scorer for the Bullis Bulldogs.
Kyler's exciting to watch. He controls their entire offense. He's headed to Brown. He's a very smart player, high IQ.
Ballistri last year scored a number of goals, led the conference, the IAC conference, with 49 goals on the season. So they are certainly expecting for him to be a big part of the offense this season.
Usually Bullis likes to run an opening play, so let's look to see if they get that going.
Right now, Bullis being very patient in their half-field offense, working the ball around, testing the waters a bit. This is Chris Welch, a Trinity commit. He'll hand off, and that's shot by number 8, Ballistri.
Great save by Farrell there.
So Timmy Farrell with the first save of the day. Farrell finished the season last year with 98 saves, a 61% save percentage as a sophomore.
Looks like they have Max Planning starting on attack. He's typically a first-line midfielder.
Get comfortable.
Now Gonzaga setting up their offense.
That's not going to be comfortable. Get yourself comfortable.
And now you see the Eagles being very patient, working the ball around again. This is Connor Reed up top, number 35, handing off to Brian Murray. Murray looking, he'll hand off behind the goal.
Connor Reed's got a short stick. Let's see if they can pick that up. He wants the ball here. He's got it.
Reed was calling for it. Now Reed with the ball, trying to get past his defender. And right here, this is the matchup we've been looking for. Number 21, Nick Fields, the 2 Hopkins commits. And that's shot by number 15, Matt Bowman. It will remain Gonzaga ball.
With Connor Reed drawing the long stick, Matt's going to have a big day.
8 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. Again, this presentation of the Metro Lac Series, the first of a number of lacrosse broadcasts from around the Washington, D.C. metro area, live streamed. Gonzaga still looking to get on the scoreboard. So far, they've taken a number of shots, but not been able to connect. Number 18 with the shot, Alex Corboy, another one of the potent offensive threats for Gonzaga, hits the pipe.
Great take by Corboy. Happy to see he's committed to Hobart.
And that shot by Planning. So right now, Gonzaga being very quick to shoot, not afraid to test the waters.
So far, all 3 shots have been high, high, high.
Nice defense by Bullis, forcing the turnover. And you
Great
saw there,
slide by Alex Robinson.
Nick Fields getting to the ground ball. This is Fields right here with the long stick. The Hopkins commit quickly ahead to Joe Stuckey. Nice pass, but that looked like the ball might have just gone out of his cross. Bullis hangs on to possession. And right now, Cab, is this pretty much what you expected to see in the early goings of this contest? A lot of quick shots by Gonzaga.
Yeah, the tempo here, you can see it slows down quite a bit when it gets on this side of the field, but you know, it's not too slow right now. Actually, I think this is just smart lacrosse by Bullis.
Bullis being very patient again, what we expected. Number 7, Matt Upsaw, looking.
Good job, Nick.
And Gonzaga causing the turnover there, picking up possession.
Looked like Timmy Farrell got a stuff on that on the shot by Mitch Goldberg.
Quickly, Gonzaga getting down the field in transition, goal by Max Planning, and that is exactly, Cab, what Gonzaga wants to do in transition.
Yeah, that was fast. That's what they want to do. I think there was some miscommunication by Bullis. They're looking at each other, but Gonzaga capitalized for sure. That was quick.
You see just how quickly they can make it down the field on the quick clear, and before the Bullis defense could recover, the quick shot by Max Planning, the Denver commit, early on making an impact for Gonzaga.
Good job, man.
Eric got it again at the face-off.
So that's 2 face-off wins for Baumgartner. A good way for him to start out this contest, and you said it, Cab, that he was going to be one of the impact players in this contest. They're really expecting a lot from him at the face-off circle, and this is somewhere that Bullis has struggled in years past when playing Gonzaga, is at the face-off X. So that's been a focus for them today, but so far Gonzaga winning the face-off battle. And another quick score by the Eagles, and this is what they do. They score in bursts.
Yeah,
Looked like that was number 9, Joe Fitzpatrick.
Yep, quick take to his left there, just beat the short stick and got a shot off before a slide came.
And I think this is certainly something that Robert Policino was worried about, was how quickly Gonzaga can score in bursts. So now 2-0 lead over Bullis. 5 minutes, 51 seconds remaining in this first quarter.
Bullis is going 2 long poles on the face-off on each wing. That's a defensive move. Looks like there was a illegal procedure there on Eric.
And so Bullis will come up with the face-off and have an opportunity here to cut into this Gonzaga lead. And a turnover right there by the Bulldogs.
That was actually a tipped ball. It looked like it was out of bounds on Gonzaga for sure.
For all your high school sports stories, game coverage, videos, photo galleries, and recruiting news, visit allmetsports.com, a product of the Washington Post, allmetsports.com. Every school, every sport, all the time.
That was a great ride by Bullis, pinning Connor Reed on the corner here. Right at the midline. Nick Fields turned him back and he just tiptoed out of bounds.
Bullis once again with possession.
Give me Brandon.
Looking to clear the ball, and once again, we expect will go into their set half-field offense. But right now, let's throw it to Brandon Roth.
All right, I'm just over on the sideline listening to Coach O'Neill, and the first thing they said before they came out of the huddle was that they wanted to go out and be aggressive, get on the board early, and that's what they've done here so far. start of the game. They come out with two quick goals with Max Planning scoring a nice jumping goal down on Bullis' end, and then Joe Fitzpatrick coming down and scoring the other goal. If Gonzaga keeps up like this, they're going to be doing exactly what they wanted to do, which is come out and establish the run and gun and get on the board quick.
Gonzaga once again coming up with it. The first quarter going very well for the Eagles. And Cab, I think Coach O'Neill does have to be really happy right now with the way that this has progressed.
Defense just took the ball away again there and got the ball up the field quickly.
Well, one of the things Coach O'Neill said before the game is that he did expect for their 6-on-6 defense to be very strong. He has very strong defenders, very experienced. That shot by Reed.
See, Reed's a smart player. He recognized the matchup there and went right to the goal. They had no slide on him.
Gonzaga remaining with possession, Planning. Behind the cage, shot by Planning. And Gonzaga continuing to take a lot of shots. Nice look there at Coach Policino on the sidelines and Casey O'Neill.
Turnover on the clear there by Bullis.
Wrong guy. He's on the end, walking the field.
Oh.
It was a nice idea by Connor Reed looking to push ahead, but Daniel O'Barry not able to handle the pass. Would have been another potential transition goal for the Eagles.
There's Policino.
And there's Coach Policino, the Bullis head coach. Again, his team had such a great year last year, looking to build upon all that success. And right now, just looking to cut into this deficit. Under 3 minutes remaining in this first quarter. This presentation of the Metro Lac Series live streamed on WashingtonPost.com. Since 1997, Mad Lacs is lacrosse for DC, Maryland, and Virginia families. Check out madlax.com to learn about tryouts for the DC area's most competitive Summer All-Stars program and summer camps for boys and girls ages 7 through 18. Visit one of 3 area retail stores and mention Metro Lac Series to receive a 15% discount. Visit madlax.com, and as always, play with passion.
Nick Fisher just got to the goal there, and again, Gonzaga defense collapsed on him and took it.
So, Cab, I think right now one of the big stories in this contest has been the defensive play by Gonzaga, really creating problems for this offense of Bullis.
They have 3 Division I committed players in their close defense. It's probably one of the best close defenses in the area. And Tim Farrell backing him up as a great goalie.
Nice shot there by Kuzma. The pass by Alex Corboy.
That was a good take by Jimmy Kuzma. Excellent save as well.
Now Gonzaga will hang on to possession, and a quick shot by Joe Fitzpatrick, the save by Brandon Burke.
I think Joe's excited after his first goal.
Looking to see if he can replicate it. 1 minute, 31 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Bullis still looking to get on the scoreboard after being stifled by this Gonzaga Eagles defense that continues to wreak havoc. Right now, battle for the ground ball. No one able to come up with it. Finally, a whistle. And it will be Gonzaga possession. And so that time, Bullis not even able to get into their 6-on-6 offense before Gonzaga forcing the turnover.
As you expect in early March, the riding and clearing is not quite where it's going to be in May. There's been a lot of turnovers on the clears, both teams.
Perhaps Gonzaga going to try to take a last shot here.
In the break. Coming to you. Give me some.
This is Reed right here. We'll give it up. Perhaps a bit of clock management.
Show me proper grip.
Poor boy.
20 seconds. They might hold for 1 here.
Poor boy working against number 27, Norden.
Oh.
That shot deflected. Gonzaga hangs on to it. Last minute shot by Corboy, but the save by Brandon Burke.
That's the first half there, the first quarter.
Last minute attempt by Bullis. But at the end of the first quarter, it is Gonzaga leading 2-0. And Cav, while we have this break in the action, let's talk a little bit about some fundamentals for those youth lacrosse players out there. And right now, let's talk about what the proper grip is with the lacrosse stick.
Okay, well, first of all, the top hand when you're passing and receiving balls should be at a comfortable place in the middle of the shaft. When you're first beginning, when you're 6, 7 years old, you can put your hand up here, and you see I have pieces of tape at both places. This is a lot easier to catch the ball up here, but all these players on the field are catching, throwing, and shooting with their hands down low. You also play defense with short stick. This is a short stick I have in my hand here. So midfielders and attackmen who are playing defense or riding are going to keep their hands tight. They're not going to play with their hands apart when they're playing defense as well. So this is an important grip for the cross players.
Got it. And talk a little bit about the cross at the top and kind of where you want to cradle the ball and things like that, what all this is.
All right, well, this is the head. The plastic here is the head, and this here is called the shaft. The pocket is this mesh netting that's made up of, that's usually custom strung and made up of shooting strings and top ball. You see I have a deep pocket here so the ball won't fall out, and it can sit when I'm running, cradling, shooting, passing, picking up ground balls.
We are almost underway with our second quarter. Don't forget that you can purchase a copy of this broadcast at www.synthesismp.com so you can watch this over and over again. Again, as we expected, this one already off to a good start.
One of my keys to the game that I wanted to touch on was the Gonzaga close defense versus the Bullis attack. And right now, the Bullis attack, which has 2 Division I commitments in Kyler Balestri to Brown and Matt Opsel to Hobart, hasn't really done too much. Look to see more from that Bullis attack if they can get something going. A couple of fouls there by Nick.
So foul called against Bullis. And Bullis continuing to struggle at the face-off X.
Yeah, I think Nick might have been a little frustrated, but that's okay. I like seeing him aggressive. We have the head ref here, John Sheehan, is a great referee. He calls a tight game.
One thing that you and I talked about before this game. And so when we reset, it will be Gonzaga ball. And again, Gonzaga just owning the face-off circle so far in this contest has been one of their keys to success, along with their stifling defense and the ability of their offense to just get so many shot opportunities on goal. Brandon Burke has come up with a couple of nice saves, but he has just been bombarded so far in this contest.
We always get good action down here on North Capitol Street. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but
sirens in the background.
It's a great venue down here in Gonzaga. They have a brand new field turf, outstanding inner city field and scoreboard, and I know the alumni are very proud of this field.
An unforced error right there by Gonzaga. Turning the ball over will give an opportunity here to Bullis.
A little too much whip in that pocket. I was just talking about that.
So a little sloppy play from the Eagles could be to the benefit of the Bulldogs, still looking to get on the scoreboard early on.
That's on. Nick.
And again, Bullis being patient on the clear. Gonzaga pressuring on the ride.
Jump him. Yeah.
And let's head over to Brandon Roth for another update.
All right, I was just listening in on Coach Pollicino's quarter speech, and he was talking about how they weren't getting in their offensive sets. They really didn't play much offensive ball that quarter. They need to, he was talking about getting in their offensive sets more, and he was also saying how Brandon Burke really saved their tails that quarter. He made a couple nice saves to end the quarter, and he was definitely their most valuable player there.
And another Gonzaga goal. That one scored by Alex Corboy. And just like that, Gonzaga up by 3. Bullis back on their heels a bit right now, as it has been all Gonzaga all day long. And another face-off win by Eric Baumgartner.
Bullis jumped. They false started on that face-off, so he has to go off the field. It's one of the new rules. If you false start before the whistle, if you move as a face-off guy, you have to go off the field. So for usually anywhere from 3 to about 7 or 8 seconds, you have a man up.
So a short window of time because of the face-off violation. But now it's Gonzaga being a bit patient here, working the ball around. Connor Reed up top for the Eagles.
Looks like Bullis has switched and put Alex Robinson on Connor Reed. Nick Fields on the ball right here, playing more close defense.
Gonzaga stretched things out there a bit now. Bowman handing off to Reed, left side.
Let's see if Jimmy will take his guy here.
Kuzma.
Bullis comes very early. That's a nice redodge.
Kuzma with the score! And just like you predicted, Kat, Jimmy Kuzma able to beat his defender, and a beautiful score.
That was what we call a redodge. He beat his man, drew a slide, made it look like he was going out, and then redodged quickly before Bullis could reset. That's a very smart dodge by Jimmy Kuzma.
Kuzma, only a junior. Last year, 7 goals on the season, and a beauty right there. And once again, Baumgartner squaring off against Stuckey in the face-off circle. This time Stuckey gets to it, but the ball quickly knocked away, and Gonzaga coming up with it again. So right now, you have to imagine Bullis is very frustrated.
They might have to put a long stick out there on the face-off. Maybe they'll try that. They've tried 2 long sticks on the wing on the face-off.
Bullis still trying to find an answer in the face-off circle. Meanwhile, Gonzaga up by 4. And again, this game is live streamed on WashingtonPost.com, but you can continue to watch it after the event is over. And we will have some of the best area matchups all season long. Another shot, at that time, Brandon Burke.
That was Fitzpatrick shooting
with the save. Nick Fisher working his way downfield, the High Point commit.
I like how Fitzpatrick's been taken to the goal. He's playing with a lot of confidence.
Nick, you do Bullis, Jeff, you do Gonzaga.
So Fitzpatrick, a couple of quick looks, certainly feeling it today for Gonzaga. Bullis, meanwhile, still struggling. What do you think Coach Policino is talking to his team about in the huddle?
Well, that's their first offensive set possession for a while. They're down 4. They probably have not been down 4 to Gonzaga ever. Like I said in the pregame, since 2005, this has been a 1 or 2 goal game every single year. So being down 4 for Bullis, it's a different situation. They're not used to this at all.
And meanwhile, in the Gonzaga huddle, things right now pretty much going the way of the Eagles, been able to do what they wanted to do on defense, in the face-off circle, and on offense as well.
Yeah, I think that Coach O'Neill and his staff got to be happy. Look for him, maybe come out here and just take him out of the rhythm again off the timeout. Maybe something, a little shut off or an aggressive play on the ball here by Gonzaga off the timeout. Conversely, I think Bullis needs to go to Kyler Balestri. He hasn't touched the ball maybe once or twice, and he runs this offense. Matt Opsel also needs to get involved. Matt's a transfer from Landon. He's a senior. He and Kyler have not played a lot together, but they're both very talented, and they need to start clicking.
So keep your eyes on number 8 for Bullis on this possession. Kyler Balestri, the Brown commit, has not been that involved today on offense, but certainly the best offensive weapon for these Bullis Bulldogs. Again, 49 goals last year, second team All-Met, and could be the answer that Bullis needs now, down by 4 in this second quarter. 8 minutes, 48 seconds remaining. You see Gonzaga once again pressuring on defense. That shot by number 14, Chris Welch.
I I think they were designing a pick on the ball there. Didn't work though. They didn't get the pick. This is Luke Miller guarding Matt Opsel. These are two Hobart commitments. Now Opsel's got a short stick. Look at him to clear out and go.
The future's certainly bright for Hobart as a number of their commits playing here today. And of course, Cab, you as a Hobart alum have to be happy about all the talent.
I love it. I love it. Like to see these DC area boys going all the way up north.
And Mrs. Balestri right here trying to fight through the double team. Still battle for the ground ball. And it will be Bullis that finally comes up with it, so another possession here. And this is the freshman, Drew Petkovich, one to watch. Coach Policino talked with us a little bit about him before the game.
They got Nick Fisher with the ball here out of the midfield, matched up with the short stick.
And that shot by Fisher.
Nick Fisher is surely one of their top midfielders. He's committed to Division I High Point and needs to get involved as well. That was a good take. Here's Kyler.
Balestri with possession, being defended by Slater, one of the captains of this Gonzaga team. Slater with the long pole. And now the double team coming. Nice defense by Gonzaga. This Gonzaga defense has been stifling today.
Excellent double on the backside by Luke Miller. Put the ball on the mat. Clean, hard play.
And a quick clear by Gonzaga. Baumgartner giving the ball up to Myers. And this is Connor Reed up top. Nice idea. That shot by number 22, Murray. Connor Reed trying to help get this offense going. He led this team in assists last season with 30. He's looking for one on that last possession.
Gonzaga's keeping Max Planning at attack still here in the second. You can see the Burke athleticism running in the family. Another great athlete in the goal here for Bullis.
Burke only a junior. And a nice look here at Nick Fields, the John Hopkins commit. Standout defender. So another opportunity here for Bullis. They have just been completely shut down by the Gonzaga defense that has been just a brick wall today.
They keep tacking long sticks from all points of the field, Bullis does.
Petkovich up top, tries to beat his defender. And again, Petkovich only a freshman.
That's a freshman taking a senior long stick.
Matt Upsall behind the cage, trying to create and get this offense going. Again, just aggressive, strong defense by Gonzaga.
He's trying to body Luke Miller, and from what I've been told by Coach O'Neill, Luke's the strongest kid on the entire team. Has all the weight room records.
He
not gonna body Luke Miller, I don't think.
First team all-conference last season. And another timeout here, and Bullis just continues to be frustrated by this Gonzaga team that has looked pretty good for this to be their second game of the season.
Gonzaga's defense is outstanding right now. Their three close defense are winning that battle against a very good attack, actually. Bullis has not been able to do anything offensively. I think they're getting a little frustrated. They're attacking the best players on Gonzaga instead of finding a short stick or finding a better matchup.
When I talked to Casey O'Neill before the game, one thing he told me about their last contest against St. Mary's was that they survived a little adversity because they would get a 3-goal lead or a 2-goal lead, and then they would let them back into the contest. So that was something that he was glad to see, that his team could keep their heads in it. They didn't have to call a lot of timeouts. Today, they have just set out on this pace. They've had the pace they want. This has been the game that they've wanted, and they have just stuck to it.
Yeah, he must be loving this right now. Coach O'Neill's very superstitious and very nervous before games, but I think he's probably pretty relaxed by now.
Since 1997, Mad Lax is lacrosse for DC, Maryland, and Virginia families. Check out madlax.com to learn about tryouts for the DC area's most competitive Summer All-Stars program and summer camps for boys and girls ages 7 through 18. Visit one of 3 area retail stores and mention Metro Lax Series to receive a 15% discount. Visit madlax.com, and as always, play with passion. And Cav, a lot of Mad Lax players out on the field here today, not to mention Division I recruits.
Yeah, I think between both teams, I counted 16 college committed players, and a lot of former Mad Lax All-Stars and current Mad Lax All-Stars as well between both teams.
And of course, you work very closely with those All-Stars, very familiar with a lot of this talent that's out on the field here today. And Gonzaga looking to build on their 4-goal lead. They have shut out the Bullis Bulldogs so far in this contest, just not the game.
All right, so Bullis has gone to a zone defense here. They're just going to really try to slow this offense down, see how this works.
So Bullis trying to switch things up, trying to find the answer to this Gonzaga offense that has been so strong. Another shot, that one by Corboy.
Corboy has had a hard shot since he was a freshman. He can really shoot the ball.
The ball will remain with Gonzaga. Plenty of time remaining in this first half. Corboy once again will give up the ball to Fitzpatrick. We've seen a lot of shots today out of Fitzpatrick. A lot of good looks.
Nick messing things up there a little bit. Nick Fields, that is.
And you have to imagine a competitor like Fields is very frustrated right now, wanting to do something to spur his team back into this contest. Gonzaga being very patient.
Looks like Gonzaga's going to run set offense.
And Corboy, a beautiful goal. Robinson trying to defend him, but Corboy certainly feeling it today for Gonzaga.
Yeah, that was high, hard, and near side right there. Corboy just pinned the corner. That was a little wheel set offensive play against the zone, so they are prepared for the zone defense.
Okay.
So Gonzaga not bothered by that defensive switch, as another goal by the Eagles is scored. This one by Alex Corboy, having a great day for Gonzaga. 35 goals last season, one of the leading scorers on the team, and picking up right where he left off this season.
I think Coach Caravan is going to like, at Denison, is going to like Eric Baumgartner. That kid is huge.
And he has been dominating today.
He's going to be a beast up there for Coach Caravan and Coach Stewart at Denison.
And it is interesting because with the roster that Gonzaga has, he doesn't really get the most attention of the players out on the field, but what a game he is having for the Eagles so far today.
Bullis is sticking with the zone, it appears. We'll see, actually. No, they're staying. They're back to.
Now Stuckey trying to pressure the ball as Gonzaga works the ball around. And so, Cab, what would you say are the advantages to going man-to-man versus zone?
Well, typically, there's Corboy shooting hard again. Typically, you go zone to slow a powerful offense down. You have a great goalie like Bullis does. It's a smart play. The thing is, they didn't do it from the get-go, and Gonzaga's has the advantage of being up, so they don't need to go to the goal if Bullis is going to sit back in the zone. It looks like Bullis is back to man-to-man.
So after briefly going with the zone, back in the man-to-man defense, that shot by Bowman. Under 2 minutes remaining in this second quarter. Again, this is the Metro Lac series, live streamed on WashingtonPost.com. Corboy, another quick shot.
Another high shot by Alex as well. Just planning.
He's worked a lot today behind the goal for Gonzaga, and now Gonzaga will reset the offense up top with Connor Reed.
Connor's backing up.
And we saw this at the end of the first quarter. Gonzaga did a little bit of clock management. But here they'll turn the ball over.
That's one thing a zone will do. It'll make you impatient, and sometimes teams throw the ball away when they typically wouldn't when they're in rhythm. But Bullis wasn't a man-to-man there, just packing it way in, playing smart defense man-to-man.
Just over a minute remaining. Bullis would love to get up on the scoreboard before this first half ends, down by 5.
That's a heck of a throw by Brandon. They were in trouble. Timeout.
We're going to get a quick timeout here. Coach Policino wants to talk things over with his team and set up the play that he wants for this last 49 seconds. And Cab, you said it last time that they called a timeout and they were probably going to try to get Balestri involved or Upsaw involved. And do you think that will be the same here?
Well, they tried that last time. It didn't work. Matt was unable to get by Luke. They might go to Kyler this time. They haven't dodged Kyler a lot. But they need a goal. If they can just get one goal here before halftime, they get a little bit of positive, a little bit of momentum before half, and maybe can build on that coming out in the third. If they go down 6-0, or even if it just ends at 5-0, they won't have that momentum or that positive in the locker room.
So a huge possession coming up here for Bullis. They have been stifled by this Gonzaga defense that is so strong, looking to make a dent in the Gonzaga lead, down by 5, 49 seconds remaining. For all your high school sports stories, game coverage, videos, photo galleries, and recruiting news, visit allmetsports.com, a product of the Washington Post. allmetsports.com, every school, every sport, all the time. Gonzaga already has retaken the field. And we will see what Coach Policino has come up with for what could be the final offensive possession of this first half.
Probably hold for one shot off a set play. Let's see who they dodge. Looks like the ball's going to be over here with Kyler against Slater.
This is Balestri, as you said, defended by Slater. But plenty of time on the clock right now, so perhaps not going to expect a quick shot. Balestri will hand off. And that shot by number 25, Mitch Goldberg. So a quick shot easily saved by Timmy Farrell.
I'm not sure that was the play, but Mitch was open. He's just got to have a better location.
Not exactly what we expected out of that possession for Bullis, but now a final opportunity for Gonzaga.
Timeout, Gonzaga.
So now Gonzaga going to talk things over.
12 seconds is enough to run a play. Plenty of time.
And what do you think we can expect to see out of this final play by the Eagles?
We'll have a set play. Maybe they'll go with Bowman because he's got the short stick. He should be able to get his hands free with the shorty to feed. We could just see an isolation with Connor.
Well, and Cab, you talked about this at the last time out, that the momentum issue was such a big thing for Bullis, not able to end that last possession with a score, and now the opportunity that they could go into the locker room down by 6.
Yeah, that would be ugly for Bullis. 5's enough. It's ugly enough. 6 is, it's gross.
Don't forget, you can purchase a copy of this broadcast at www.synthesismp.com. And certainly I think you would have to say that Bullis did not expect to get shut out in this first half of play.
I think it speaks to the Gonzaga defense. You know, I said they have as I said, they have 3 Division I close defensemen. They are very impressive today. I don't think they've gotten beat once yet.
And this is going to be a lesson to all those teams that are watching this game being live streamed, that it is going to be very tough to score goals on this Gonzaga defense all year long.
Okay, look at this. They're packing the crease here. Triple stack. Gonzaga, and Connor's going to go one-on-one versus Fields. This is fun.
So this is the matchup we wanted to see. Connor Reed.
Oh my gosh. He just shot and hit his own guy.
With that shot. So not sure that's the way that was drawn up in the huddle, but nonetheless, that is the way that we will end this first half. The Gonzaga Eagles up by 5 over Bullis, and again, things just could not be more picture perfect for Gonzaga right now.
Yeah, other than that shot right there hitting his teammate, I think that was a design screen with 3 guys standing in front of the goal there. Other than that, everything's gone right for Gonzaga.
The defense has been on point. Eric Baumgartner having a fantastic game at the face-off circle, and then very balanced scoring by the Eagles up top.
Yeah, Connor's done well. Fitzpatrick has a goal. It's hard, and Max on attack Max Planning has been effective as well for Gonzaga.
Meanwhile, right now in the locker room for Bullis, no doubt the coaches are going to try to get their team amped up for this second half. They have a tough job cut out for them.
Yeah, they're going to have to figure out offensively. I mean, giving up 5 goals, frankly, to Gonzaga is not that bad. If the score was 5-4, we'd say, okay, that's about exactly how we expected it to be. But it's 5-0, so Bullis has just got to focus all their time right now on figuring out their offense.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with the Metro Lac Series live streamed at www.washingtonpost.com. welcome back to this Metro Lac Series broadcast of the Bullis Bulldogs versus the Gonzaga Eagles. Again, I'm Monica Moore, and Cab, this game has not been the game that we expected so far between these two teams. Bullis shut out in the early goings.
That's right. I think everyone would have thought it would be another one-goal game, and it still could. It still could. Bullis has just got to get their offense going and attack and find someone to take advantage of for Gonzaga, and that's not going to be easy. Gonzaga's defense is their strength for sure.
And we talked about the fact these are two of the best teams in this area right now. So again, we didn't expect this lopsided game so far, but let's talk about who are your top 10 in the DC metro area right now as things stand.
Well, this is my personal feeling, of course. This is not an official Washington Post ranking, but number one, I think Landon is considered the top team in the area for sure. They have a ton of players coming back. Georgetown Prep, a very close second. That could go one or two either way. I know Prep's higher ranked in a couple of national rankings, and Landon's higher ranked in a couple of national. I think Gonzaga's number 3, and Gonzaga plays both those teams, so those games are going to be huge games later on. Bullis and St. Stephen's, I have 4 and 5. I think those two teams are very close. 6 is St. Mary's Riken. They're a very strong Riken team in the WCAC. 7 is Paul VI. They played Georgetown Prep to a couple goals the other night, and they have a good group. 8, Langley, who's the 3-time Virginia State champion. Wooten, who's the best team in Montgomery County for all public schools, is 9. And I think Chantilly should be considered for number 10.
Kevin Broderick, the Washington Post Coach of the Year last year with that Chantilly team that you have at number 10. But right now, let's go over to Brandon Roth and hear a little bit about what happened at halftime.
Well, I listened to both huddles there at half, and Coach O'Neill of Gonzaga first thought he should have a bigger lead than he does. He's stressing not getting fancy and not being patient on the offensive end. They're taking a couple shots they would have liked to had a better look at. And then on the other end, Bullis, Coach Pollicini is just stressing time of possession. It's almost 3-to-1 time possession in the first half. And he really just says without the ball you can't score, so they're really focusing on possession in the second half.
All right, meanwhile, Gonzaga trying to pick up right where they left off in the first half.
They won the opening faceoff again. Eric got it. Some other good teams in the area, just to finish that off, and could be a top 10 team, are Calverton. I think they have a special group. They have 4 or 5 D1 players in a very small school. DeMatha is always very good. And Oakton, I think, is going to make some noise this year in Northern Virginia, along with Chantilly and Langley.
Of course, Oakton had a great run a number of years where they were really at the top of the northern region, looking to get back to some of that dominance. But Cab, we've talked about it, that the face-offs have really been a huge key today, and you talked about the fact that Baumgartner, he's a big player. What are some of the things that makes him so effective at the face-off X?
Well, it looks like he's actually overpowering the Bullis face-off guy with a clamp. He's an excellent football player, Baumgartner. He's very strong, one of the strongest kids on the roster. I think he plays defensive end in football, and he's just power clamping the ball, and he's explosive too. He's a quick athlete, and he's going to play college lacrosse at Denison, like I said.
And you bring up something else that is pretty common in the sport of lacrosse, particularly the high school level. A lot of these guys play football during the fall season. They play lacrosse during the spring. Of course, Bullis had such a successful year in the IAC with their football program, and really a lot of those skills from football and lacrosse translate very well.
Yeah, a lot of these guys from Bullis are forced to play 2 sports. It's a small school. Now at Gonzaga, a 2-sport athlete, especially with football, is very rare. You know, there's usually less than 4 players on Gonzaga's lacrosse roster that play varsity football, and Eric is one of them. A little bit different level of football down here in the Catholic League.
Aggressive defense by Bullis, and that time Bullis forcing the turnover.
That was the best defensive set of the game for Bullis right there. See if they can actually get the...
A bit of a page out of the Gonzaga playbook. That's what we've seen out of the Gonzaga defense all day long, but Gonzaga so quickly winning it back, and that has to be deflating for Bullis after that defensive stand.
Got to pick up ground balls. You can't swipe at it with one hand or rake it or any of that. You got guys beating on you.
One of the fundamentals in lacrosse, that's something that coaches preach about all the time. One of those stats that I think coaches pay a lot of attention to on the statistics sheet.
One-handed ground balls are fine. You know, I'm old, but I'm not that old school. I have no problem with players picking up the ball with one hand as long as they can do it. If you have people around you and people beating on you, you're not going to be able to pick up the ball with one hand, so you have to be smart.
And on that last possession, Corboy looked like he was looking for Bowman, but instead it will be Bullis possession. And Nick Fields, the Johns Hopkins commit, starting things off for the Bulldogs. Bullis still desperately trying to get back into this contest, and that is not the way to do it.
Can't clear.
For a coach.
Must have been tipped. They're keeping it with Bullis, sorry.
So Gonzaga must have touched it last, so Bullis will hang on to possession, but right now just a frustrating day for the Bullis Bulldogs.
Bullis has got to pick up the energy. I feel like right now they're banging the ball around, they're starting to, and everyone's just walking.
Since 1997, Madlax is lacrosse for DC, Maryland, and Virginia families. Check out madlax.com to learn about tryouts for the DC area's most competitive Summer All-Stars program and summer camps for boys and girls ages 7 through 18.
Chris Welch just took an ISO, first goal of the game for Bullis. He dodged to his left, had a short stick, no slide came, and he just stuck it.
And absolutely huge for Bullis right now, down by 5, shut out during the first half, and Welch.
Yeah, Welch, he's a Trinity commit, you know, Trinity's a nice program with Coach Higgins up there in the NESCAC conference. He needs to step up.
So our score now 5-1, Gonzaga up, but Bullis trying to launch a comeback in this second period, and now Bullis
wins a faceoff.
Back-to-back possessions here for the Bulldogs. Will they be able to capitalize and go on a bit of a run here?
I'm not even sure what that call was because it wasn't a false start, but they called something on Eric.
So pretty rare today that we have seen Bumgardner not be successful in the face-off X, but right now Bullis with an opportunity, once again being very patient on offense. And
they're doing everything from the midfield. Why are they not going with Kyler? Kyler's Balestri is not, right now he's just planted on the crease. You probably can't see him, but he's planted on the crease with Jack Slater on him.
That shot by number 14, Chris Welch, feeling it, trying to get another quick score.
That was a good save by Tim Farrell.
Bullis number 8.
Bullis trying to hang on to possession, and they do.
There's Balestri if you want to talk about him.
Kyler's behind the goal back now. Looks like they're going to set play there. Yeah, that was a set inbounds play for Kyler to get the shot, and it just got picked off by Gonzaga. That was a force feed.
Well, and of course, what Bullis wants to do is get him involved on offense here. Coming up with the ground ball right there was number 22, Nick Fisher. But Bullis has struggled today to get Balestri, their best offensive player, involved. This is Balestri right here with the ball, trying to hang on to possession. He's being defended by number 40, Jack Slater, one of the captains of this Gonzaga team.
See, he's not sprinting out of the dodge. I've seen Kyler play. He's an outstanding player. I'd like to see him keep the ball in the stick a little longer out of dodge there and see if he can get a step on Jack.
And now Joe Stuckey up top with the ball for Bullis. And Cab, as a former player, you've really been on both sides of contests like this, where you've been up by a large margin, down by a large margin.
Yep. Well, that was a push right there. That was a good attack. I think that was Stuckey. Was that number 4 who got that? That was a good dodge by Stuckey. Forced Gonzaga to push from behind with possession. That's a 30-second foul. Man up for Bullis. And Bullis, over the years, has always had an exceptional man up. Coach Balestri, the assistant coach, runs the offense, and he has some very creative man-up plays. Let's see if they can snag one here.
So this is a great opportunity here coming up for Bullis to try to cut into this 4-goal lead even more. And that shot by number 25, Mitch Goldberg.
I think they can get a better shot than that.
And they will hang on to possession. Goldberg has yet to commit. Balestri with a shot.
I think that's his first shot of the game. I may be wrong, but that's his first shot.
And we're seeing some quick shots here. Is that typically the strategy on extra man opportunities? Or as a coach, what would you have your team do right now?
Usually you run one play and you give everybody the green light within that play to shoot the ball if they have an easy shot. That was a throwaway by Mitch Goldberg, a little high on the extra man. It was a good idea, just a high pass.
And a bit of a wasted opportunity for Bullis there. One of their best opportunities of the day when you're playing against a defense like Gonzaga. Those extra man opportunities are a nice place to try to take advantage, but instead Gonzaga.
Looks like Gonzaga has put Max Planning back at midfield. He played attack the whole first half, and then now they've got Sean Whitcomb on attack with Alex Corboy and Daniel O'Barry starting.
Kuzma giving it up. We saw a nice goal by Kuzma in the first half. We talked about just how balanced Gonzaga was in the first half. They got a lot of offensive production out of a lot of different people.
Well, they're just so deep. I mean, this is a perfect example. Whitcomb didn't play the first half. He's playing second half, and they're not going to miss a beat right here. They're very, very deep, and that's to their advantage on a hot day, for sure.
And of course, Whitcomb was their fourth leading scorer last year. Certainly someone who can put the ball in the net.
That's him right there.
Number 6. Planning with the shot, and another save by Brandon Burke, the goalkeeper.
Brandon's got to already be around 10 for saves.
And despite the scoreboard, Burke has had a large number of saves because, as we said, Gonzaga, who gets a nice interception there, has done a nice job.
Nice
taking
job by
a lot
Kuzma.
of shots.
Oh, Kuzma just made a fantastic
What a pass.
play.
What a save by Burke. That shot by Satuda.
Great play by Kuzma. Not only did he pick off the pass on the right, he came down, protected his stick, and then found a wide open player on the crease.
Just a beautiful pass, but once again, Burke standing strong in the goal for Bullis. At that time, on the clear, too much on it. Bullis battling to try to hang on to possession. We've seen a bit of sloppy play from the Bulldogs, just not protecting their opportunities today.
It's been clearing. They're not clearing the ball very well at all, and Gonzaga's not even putting a pressure ride on. They're having two players ride. Oh.
And another shot.
That's an amazing save right there. That's a Burke save. That's off his ankle bone. And if that goes in, that's a major problem for Bullis because not only they would have given him 6-1 and a man up. There's a slash right now on Bullis. So Gonzaga's going man up. Chance to go up 6-1 here.
When you talked about how deep this Gonzaga team is, and we're really seeing lots of different players out on the field, lots of players taking cracks at the net. It's going to be one reason why this team is going to be tough to beat this year. Back-to-back WCAC champions, trying to go for 3 in a row and looking very strong.
Well, they're the front runner in the WCAC. I've got them up there, number 1 team to beat. There's a lot of competition in the Catholic League with good counsel, Paul VI. Even Coach Phillips at St. John's is doing a great job over there, and they should be in the mix.
That last shot was by Fitzpatrick.
Paul VI is strong. Coach Fitzgerald and O'Connell's doing well. I think to continue on that, I think this is actually one of the first years in my lifetime that the Catholic League's top 6 teams compared to the IAC's top 6 teams are even, maybe even better. We'll see by the end of the year.
And it looks like Gonzaga trying to get someone right there in the middle around the crease. They've been looking inside. That time they were looking for Fitzpatrick.
That was kicked out of bounds by Bullis actually, but they're going to give it to Bullis.
So a bit of a break there for the Bulldogs. Under 3 minutes remaining in this third quarter. The bright spot for Bullis, able to score 1 goal in this period, courtesy of Chris Welch, but looking for a few more. And quickly down the field comes Kevin Jensel for the Bulldogs.
They can't clear. They've tried everything. Now they're trying to run it out with the midfielder instead of passing it out, and he gets knocked out of bounds.
Well, you've talked about it a number of times today. It really has been one of the biggest problems for Bullis, and therefore they're not able to get those offensive opportunities, just wasted possessions, because the clearing game has been a bit deficient today for Bullis.
Exactly. They are trying different things. Even though Brandon's thrown the ball away a couple of times on clears, I think they got to go back to him and pass the ball out. Gonzaga's too athletic in the middle of the field to run the ball out. It's not going to work.
A bit of pressure as Kuzma works through it.
Kuzma taking beatings there, but not getting the ball from him.
2 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in this third quarter. And Connor Reed up top. And that shot finally by Sean Whitcomb right into the contest and making an impact.
Connor Reed off the dodge and dump there got a beautiful assist. He's got excellent vision out of the dodge. Part of the reason he's going to Johns Hopkins. He's not one-dimensional. He's extremely hard to guard because if he comes out and you slide early, he's going to pull out and fire a seam pass like that.
And again, just emphasizing the depth and the balance of this Gonzaga team. But that one set up by Connor Reed. Again, leading this team last year in assists. And now Baumgartner back at work, but Bullis looking to win another face-off. Just cannot get to the ground ball, and now Gonzaga able to come up with it. Has to be very frustrating for the Bulldogs.
That's a face-off win. Even though it's way down there, it's still a face-off win. And Bullis had that too. They actually had the easy ground ball. Could have picked it up at the middle.
And so would you attribute some of this to fatigue or just right now a little down because the contest has just not gone their way?
I mean, it is hot. It's very, very hot. And Bullis, we know it, like I said, is wearing dark blue, and they're not as deep. They did play a couple days ago, whereas Gonzaga's had 4 days of rest since their last game. But, yeah, you're probably not in good a shape now as you will be in May. And Bullis is not flying around the field like I typically see them do.
And how much of this would you attribute to it just being the early season, kind of getting team chemistry?
Well, yeah, I mean, chemistry is another issue. That always comes as the season goes, especially for the offenses. Usually defenses click first for teams, and then the offense will come later as the season goes on. But also, you have to remember that Kyler and Matt on attack haven't played together. Matt is a transfer, so they just started playing together, and you know I don't see them passing the ball between each other yet.
That shot by Planning.
It'll come though. Those two are good players.
Nick, get on Brandon.
So Planning shot deflected, and now Bullis, 23 seconds remaining in this third quarter, so not a lot of time for the Bulldogs if they want to cut into this deficit even more. Balestri up top, defended by Planning. Balestri looking, looks like he wants to take it. He does.
There was 5 seconds to go in the quarter there. That's why Kyler was going.
Let's go to Brandon.
And let's head over to Brandon Roth for another update.
Coach Policino is stressing to his guys how they need to get Kyler Balestri and Nick Fisher more involved in the offense. But so far they've been able to not do that. They've had a couple opportunities here early. They had Chris Welch with an early goal, and then they went man up. But they were unable to take advantage of that. And they come out and let Whitcomb score a goal right there, right at the end of the period. And now Gonzaga's back up by 5.
Defensively, Bullis can't do too much more. They really can't. They've only allowed 6 goals in 3 quarters to one of the best offenses in the area. You know, if you allow 6 goals in 3 quarters to Gonzaga, defensively you have to be pretty happy. But you would have thought you would have had 5, maybe 6, 7 goals yourself. So it's not going offensively at all like Bullis wanted.
So at this point, are they looking to make more adjustments, do you think, going into this fourth quarter, or just
Bullis has to get to the goal now. They're not going to be able to hold the ball like they want to or be super disciplined. I think they're going to have to take some chances offensively. Their defense is giving them chances. They're just not clearing the ball. I mean, Alex Robinson's playing great back there. Nick Fields is playing very well. Brandon's making a million saves, but they can't clear the ball, and they're not getting enough chances in 6-on-6 offense.
Since 1997, Madlax is lacrosse for DC, Maryland, and Virginia families. Check out madlax.com to learn about tryouts for the DC area's most competitive Summer All-Stars program and summer camps for boys and girls ages 7 through 18. Visit one of 3 area retail stores and mention Metro Lax Series to receive a 15% discount. Visit madlax.com, and as always, play with passion.
All right, so Bullis has got their first wrinkle here. They're bringing Kyler up on the wing of the face-off, which is good. I like to see this. They're going to get their best player around the lacrosse ball.
And they're continuing to go with Joe Stuckey, squaring off against Baumgartner.
Looks like there was another procedure there. I think they're calling him for pinning or using his hand, or there's
Balestri.
See that? That's what you want to see. He comes off, gets the ball, picks it up off the procedure, goes right down, dodges a short stick. And now Jack Slater's jumping back on him though. So Gonzaga switched the matchups and they got what they want.
But a great sign for Bullis because they do want to get Balestri involved. We talked about it. It was a long time before Balestri took his first shot in this contest. But now time not on the side of the Bulldogs. They want to get some quick looks, and that time that shot by number 22 Nick Fisher in the back of the net.
Just wide on the outside part there. Oh gee, Gonzaga's
quickly down the field comes the Eagles. Patrick Myers helping to get the ball downfield, and now Gonzaga. Do the Eagles switch up their strategy and try to do a little clock management, or do they continue to run their offense?
No, I think they're going to keep pushing. They're going to keep pushing. I mean, they're not going to be stupid, but, you know, the way they like to play is fast, have fun, push it. As Coach O'Neill told me in pregame, they want to have fun, get up and down, and move the ball. He'd probably like to get his third line in. Let's see if he can get his third line in, maybe some more attackmen. Not yet, though. It's only a 5-goal lead.
So at the beginning of this fourth quarter, our score, Gonzaga 6, Bullis 1, 10 minutes, 34 seconds remaining. Planning with a rocket for Gonzaga. So change that, the Eagles 7, Bullis 1.
Wow, that's a nice shot there by Planning. He just stepped up, planted his feet, had a short stick on him, cleared his hands, and ripped it.
An absolute beautiful shot, about impossible for the goalkeeper to stop. Brandon Burke, who has had a good day in goal despite being peppered by shots by the Eagles, but that one, a tough one.
New face-off guy for Bullis.
Okay, Nick.
So Bullis still trying to find the answer. That time they go with Kevin Jensel in the face-off X, and they do come up with it. This is Nick Fields right here, number 21.
Nick might want to stay on and play some offense with the long pole.
Right now, Bullis trying to find anything that will work on offense, but it's very clear that they're trying to get Balestri as involved as possible. Fisher pushed outside. Still trying to get something going on offense. Number 25, Mitch Goldberg. We've seen him take a couple of shots today for Bullis.
That was actually a good take by Mitch. Come a little bit higher around the goal. He didn't get quite high enough before he did that outside roll move.
And now Opsahl with the ball, and we talked about that, still trying to get a bit integrated here, working around the crease, being careful not to step into it. And now Bullis still expending a lot of time on this possession. Hasn't had many quick looks at the goal, and look at that defense by Baumgartner.
Yeah, Borda and Baumgartner behind back there. They're switching off and double teaming, jumping the ball, doing a nice job inverted there.
And of course, Borda, the hero from last year's WCAC matchup, that beautiful goal right at the end of the game. And now Gonzaga quickly getting the ball up the field, courtesy of Joe Fitzpatrick.
Now they have Myers on attack with Sean and out scoreboard. Here's Sean.
Well, and Cab, we've talked a lot about the fact that a lot of these guys are going on to play at the next level. As someone who did play at that level, what do you think the biggest differences are that they have to prepare for between the high school game and the college game?
Well, speed is the first and foremost, and of course everybody's stronger. and a lot bigger. But you can tell out here, you know, why Nick Fields and Connor are going to a top 10 team. It's because they're two of the faster players on the field. Whether or not they're the strongest, they may be, but they're going to get a lot stronger and a lot bigger at Johns Hopkins. They have the speed. You can't really coach speed or dramatically improve speed, and they are exceptionally fast and athletic.
Corboy, with that shot number 18, has been very active today on offense. But Gonzaga will hang on to possession. And again, this is just one of many lacrosse games that will be live streamed this season with the Metro Lac series at WashingtonPost.com. A lot of the teams that were in Cab's top 10 are going to be featured throughout the season, so you're going to want to check the schedule and put them on your calendar. Lots of great lacrosse by the area's top teams.
Yeah, this second line midfield for Gonzaga is doing a great job too.
And quite a luxury. So many offensive weapons that this Gonzaga team has. Again, Corboy with the shot. Burke with the save.
Yeah, Brandon, pretty amazing save there.
And again, you can't overemphasize what a day he's had.
They should just try to clear the ball a little quicker. Maybe that'll help them. Here they go, a little faster. A little faster by Bullis.
And again, the Achilles heel for today has been the clearing game, but this time it looks like Bullis will be able to set up their half-field offense. And again, you can purchase a copy of this broadcast at www.synthesismp.com.
Bullis has got Fisher here with a short stick. Jimmy Kuzma guarding him. It's a good matchup, but they're running a little off-ball pick play.
And you get the sense Balestri, he's just trying to get free, looking for a shot. Balestri harassed, but somehow able to get that shot off.
He's a big, strong kid. I can see why he's going to Brown. He's big and quick, which is rare, and for the Ivy League, that's going to be a nice recruit.
Balestri battling through multiple defenders, and you could just tell he was looking for any opening to get that shot off, cutting into this deficit now. Gonzaga up 7-2 over Bullis. 6 minutes, 39 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. Bullis continuing to battle.
Yeah, that was just a great individual effort by Kyler. Probably not part of the offense, but he beat two guys and a third was coming and he still stuck it. Nice play.
But here once again the face-off going to Gonzaga. And now the Eagles with an opportunity to stretch their lead back out after that beautiful goal by Balestri.
Gonzaga's still going with their first midfield here, so they're not taking any chances. Here's Max Planning.
Planning had that rocket just a little bit earlier. Now Corboy.
He should have just kept coming around the goal. He had nobody on him. I think he thought people were coming, but nobody was coming. He could have walked in, thrown a couple fakes, and put that away.
Gonzaga will hang on to possession. Gonzaga.
See, Bullis is actually stretching here defensively, and they're not used to doing that, obviously. They just gave up an easy goal. Bullis is pushing out there, putting pressure on, and yeah, number 8, Myers, finished that one.
And again, just seeing the balance and the depth on this team. Myers, a junior, scoring that last goal. We saw Whitcomb a little earlier. We've seen Corboy, so many different players today scoring for Gonzaga. Did not take a lot of time for Gonzaga to stretch this lead back out to 6. And so back to the face-off circle we go.
Gonzaga's got a new long stick committee here on the wing, Thomas Sikowski.
So both coaches continuing to mix things up on the face-offs. And again, the battle for the ground ball.
Bullis won one.
Stuckey coming up with it. So a good sign for Bullis right there.
Bullis has got to start getting quick shots.
Not a lot of time left in this contest.
Sikowski just came right off the field and put the ball on the mat. But Kyler's doing a heck of a job riding. That's too bad. Kyler's going around popping people right now. He's a little angry.
No doubt a little frustrated today. 1 goal in this contest for Balestri. But Bullis very stifled by Gonzaga on defense. And now Gonzaga working the ball around, getting everyone involved. And Cab, you've been talking a lot about the first midfield, second midfield, switching in. Can you talk a little bit about the coaching strategy of working in those different lines and how that helps with the offense?
Yeah, usually you have a first midfield group of your top three. In the case of Gonzaga, actually, they are using 3 seniors on their first line and 3 juniors on their second line, although they have been mixing up some today. So what they're doing is using 2 offensive midfield groups, we'll call them, and then 2 defensive midi short sticks. So they're using 8 short sticks at the midfield, and that's pretty deep, especially for high school.
And Bowman that time with the score, number 15, and the offensive barrage continuing for Gonzaga.
I think
Stay on him, Nick.
either Gonzaga loves to shoot high or the scout was to shoot high, but everything is high. That was a low. Matt bent down low and from sidearm shot lifted it up top. It's a nice shot.
You talked about that earlier after Corboy had that goal, and immediately he went back to taking another high shot.
Good job, Nick.
Yeah, these coaches do a good job scouting. I'm sure they think maybe that's where they should be shooting, but sometimes scouting reports on high school players, it doesn't really work. Kids just shoot the ball where they want to shoot the ball, and we're going to get another goal.
Wow, look at Corboy off a beautiful assist by Patrick Myers.
That was off a face-off. That's pretty rare, pretty impressive. Quick goal. Nice look by Myers. Great finish by Corboy.
We talked a little bit in the first half about how this Gonzaga team can just score in bursts. Coach's worst nightmares when you're facing a team like this. So 2 pretty much back-to-back goals for Gonzaga, and that one so impressive.
Looks like they're changing. Gonzaga's changing the face-off guy here as well to Tyler Golian.
But Gonzaga coming up with it again. Burke with the save.
Gonzaga's letting it fly right now. They're just firing everything possible, and that's a goal on most goalies. That was an amazing save.
Who's the player of the game?
And we're going to get a quick timeout right here.
Player of the game.
I think Coach called timeout there because it's getting a little crazy, and he probably is going to put in the bench. There's 4 minutes to go. You're up by 8. I can see he's already starting to put in some more players, and you might not even see a drop-off here. Gonzaga's so deep.
Who's the player of the game? Ask him on the air.
So who do you think, there have been so many standouts today for this Gonzaga team, but if you had to pick just one, who would you say is your player of the game?
Well, Eric's done a nice job at the midfield. Facing off, I think for Bullis, Brandon's been their standout player. The defense overall, all 3 guys have really shut down the Bullis attack. That is, the Gonzaga defense has shut down the Bullis attack. So Luke Miller, Matt Borda, Jack Slater, those 3 guys, they're very good. And the scary thing is they're all juniors.
Yeah. So it's going to be tough.
They're going to be terrorizing attacks here for 2 years.
Unbelievable. These guys, again, as you said, only juniors wreaking havoc, and I think the WCAC has to be very worried about this team. You said they're your favorite to win the conference once again, which would be their 3rd in the row if they are able to do it.
Yeah, they have a good. I think they play Paul VI coming up soon, and they don't forget Gonzaga's schedule is not light. It's one of the hardest schedules. They played Landon and Georgetown Prep, so those are games I hope we're doing too.
So now Gonzaga, under 4 minutes remaining, Gonzaga up 10-2 over this Bullis team.
So Bullis was in a total shut-off there. They went ahead and shut everybody off. And Fitzpatrick, I think that's Fitzpatrick's 2nd or 3rd goal of the game. Just a nice individual effort there.
Well,
Joseph Fitzpatrick.
You talked about it a little earlier. He certainly seemed to be feeling it today. He's been looking for his shot all day and has been a huge positive for Gonzaga on offense.
Yeah, Bullis is in a total, they're pressing out, trying to take the ball away, do everything they can. And that's going to open up holes for situations like that. If one person gets beat, there's not going to be any help. Good finish by Joseph.
And Golian back at the face-off X. And now Golian doing quite a job, and a quick shot by Golian. Again, Burke. Another nice save by the goalkeeper for Bullis.
He's probably close to 15 saves. Nick should shoot this. Yeah, you can tell he's going to shoot that. If he had gotten a stick free, I think he was taking a shot.
Nick Fields quickly collapsed upon by a couple of defenders, but I think you're exactly right. He was feeling it, trying to get a shot off. Since 1997, Madlax is lacrosse for DC, Maryland, and Virginia families. Check out madlax.com to learn about tryouts for the DC area's most competitive Summer All-Stars program and summer camps for boys and girls ages 7 through 18. Visit one of 3 area retail stores and mention Metro Lax Series to receive a 15% discount. Visit madlax.com, and as always, play with passion. And speaking of playing with passion, this Gonzaga team today, really from start to finish out of the gates, has been so strong, and now tons of flags down on the field.
We had a late hit, unnecessary roughness on Nick Fisher after Connor threw the ball there. Nick popped Connor Reed in the helmet, and Gonzaga is going to be 2 men up. The first one was an offsides, Bullis on the ride, and the second there was going to be a high hit.
Get tight on Casey.
So a very dangerous situation coming up.
Now Gonzaga might sub here or not shoot. They might just let the ball just pass and start killing time.
Good job.
But they still have Fitzpatrick and Connor Reed out there, so maybe not.
And of course Whitcomb back out on the field as well, who had a goal earlier in this second half. Quite an offensive threat for Gonzaga. Under 3 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter, Gonzaga has been so strong today, up 11-2 over Bullis.
All right, well, somehow it's only 1 man down. I thought there was 2 fouls there, but single man up.
So not as bad of a situation as it could have been. And the question is...
Yeah, I think they're just going to bang it around. I'm not sure they... Well, here they go. Might run a little play here.
So Gonzaga quickly working the ball around, and last time, Cab, you talked about the fact that typically on these opportunities, you try to run one good set play.
Yep, one set play usually takes about 5 to 10 seconds, and then you're going to shoot the ball with anything within your range.
And that time it is number 9, Joe Fitzpatrick. Wow.
That was high and hard from 15 yards. I think that's a hat trick for that kid. He's having a heck of a day.
Joe Fitzpatrick, well, you've been talking about this junior class for Gonzaga. Wow, they're scary.
Yeah, their junior class is loaded. Fitzpatrick was a player to watch by Coach O'Neill, and I can see why.
Well, this is a Gonzaga team that just continues to reload. I mean, they lose David Planning to graduation, an All-American, but you see the cupboard by no means bare for the Gonzaga Eagles. And once again, at the face-off X is Golian, still battling, and it is Gonzaga that comes up with it. Golian has been very successful at the face-off X for the Eagles. So a nice substitute there for Baumgartner.
Looks like they got Max Havalis in attack now for Gonzaga, and they've been told to keep it in. It's under 2 minutes in the cross. With the lead, you have to keep it in the offensive box, not the offensive third. So it's really not easy to do. We'll see how much pressure Bullis puts on the ball, though.
Gonzaga up by 10, and it has been Gonzaga all day long, start to finish. They were up 5-0 at halftime, and Bullis, a couple of spurts in this second half, 2 goals, but just not enough to overcome the Gonzaga Eagles today.
Yeah, Bullis is going to send some doubles and maybe send a goalie. Anything they can, they're shutting everybody off. But if Max can protect the ball like that, Gonzaga is going to be fine. And here comes a double team by Nick Fields.
Planning going to give it
got
up.
To play. Yeah, nice ball movement.
He'll give it to Havalis. Havalis defended
Nice
by
play
Zolet.
Max. That was a good play by Max.
And really Gonzaga just showing today that they really are just a complete team now, successfully able to hang on to possession here and to run out some of this clock.
Yeah, I think they're in mid-season form. Gonzaga looks very strong. Quite impressive.
And now under 30 seconds remaining in this contest. It looks like Gonzaga going to win easily today against Bullis. So quite an impressive effort.
This is actually very good practice right here, keeping control of the ball under 2 minutes in the box.
Really tight on.
You're going to have to win a game later in the season doing that, and they're showing they can take a lot of time off the clock. They just took off 2.5 minutes and the game's over right now. That's nicely done by Gonzaga.
Coach O'Neill has to be very happy with how well his team has played from start to finish. And what's so impressive, and I think with a team like Gonzaga, you don't expect that they're going to let up or lose their focus. But they, to me, remained focused in this contest from start to finish, sticking to the game plan. Every single person on the field was such a contributor.
Yeah, they had a lot of energy all game. I don't think Bullis played with a ton of energy. Now I know it's hot and it's Gonzaga's deeper, but Bullis wasn't bouncing around like Gonzaga was today.
Player down.
And looks like a player behind the goal for Gonzaga getting a little medical treatment. Can't see the number right now. Not sure what happened in those waning seconds of the fourth quarter, but we'll try to keep you updated about that situation. And right now, Cab, I'm going to ask you a very difficult question, and we're going to hear from Coach O'Neill later on. But coaches are never happy, no matter what the score is. They always can find something that they want to talk to their team about after the game. If you're Coach O'Neill and you had to pick out a couple of things that you'd want to improve upon for your team, what, if anything, would you say?
They didn't do much wrong today, did they? They really didn't. That is a tough question. I think maybe on their clearing, it wasn't perfect. It did get better as the game went on. However, it started slow and it picked up. So not a lot to work on. Not a lot to go back and say, oh, we need to do this a lot better, that a lot better. I can't find a glaring weakness.
But as you said, their schedule is so tough. I mean, they are going to face tough competition day in and day out, and they're going to need to have this type of game every single time they take the field. And they're the team that has the bullseye on their backs right now, you'd have to say. I mean, there are a couple of other teams in this area as well, but...
Yeah, that's a statement win. I know that I'm not the only one that probably thought this was going to be a one-goal game. I mean, we're doing this game because we thought it was going to be a one-goal game. So that's a statement win, and people are going to see that score and realize how powerful and how good Gonzaga is this year.
And then meanwhile, on the other side of the field for Bullis, a bit of a deflating loss for them, I think one would have to say, because I don't think that they expected, if Gonzaga won, the margin would be as great as it was. What are the things that they pick up to build on after this loss?
Well, I think I was talking to Coach Palacino before the game, and he said that Luke Schneider, their defenseman, who's been out all year, I didn't see him play today. He was cleared moments before the game. He had a separated shoulder, so getting him back is going to help. Okay, that's going to definitely help right off the bat, and that'll help their defensive chemistry for sure. And they'll start to figure more things out. They have to decide how they're going to use Kyler and how they're going to use Matt Opsahl to see if that's going to be how they go with the attack, or maybe Kyler at the midfield. But they have a lot. I know that Coach Palacino's he's got a great staff. Coach Balestri, they'll figure it out. They're very smart. They're good.
Well, and we talked a little earlier about the chemistry component too. It's so early in the season that there's a lot of games to come, and there's going to be a lot of development, particularly with that offense. As you pointed out, the offenses typically meld a little slower than your defensive units.
That's right. Defense always is clicking first. Although Gonzaga's offense looked very good. They did have a lot of transition goals, which is not set pieces, but Bullis traditionally is a set 6-on-6 disciplined style offense, and if they didn't get into that at all, they couldn't clear the ball, they didn't have enough possessions, and when Bullis gets you in 6-on-6 and settles and slows the ball down, they're gonna get shots, and that's how they win games, and that's how they have won games for the last 10-15 years.
If you're a coach here from another team scouting this game, how do you beat Gonzaga?
I think you have to. First of all, you have to have more possession, so you got to win face-offs. And Eric did a great job today. And then once you do get, you either have to think you're more athletic and faster and beat them at that own game, or you slow it down and control the game with better skills, better clearing, better discipline.
certainly a tough thing to do. But right now, let's head over to Brandon Roth, who is standing with our player of the game.
All right, I'm here with Max Planning, a junior midfielder. First off, just talk to me about how you thought the team played overall today.
We played great. You know, our coach really stressed defense coming into the game. We knew that they like to settle it down, and our defense took the ball away every time we got it, and our offense just put it away. So it's great.
All right, I heard Coach talking to you guys about getting out there and being aggressive and getting on the board early. What was your plan to do that?
Yeah, one of our senior attackmen, I went in for him in the beginning, and he came out and did a great job for us. But we really, we were up 5-0 at halftime, I think, and we just put it away at the end. It was a great job.
All right, obviously this was a huge game for you guys. Talk to me about how the score turned out for you guys and how all your hard work has paid off.
Well, last year it was 9-7, and then 2 years before that they came back on us, and we really stressed putting them away at the end. And our goal was to get double digits, and we did that and put them away. So,
thanks, Max. I appreciate it.
Go ahead, Coach. You can go right over.
All right, Coach. First off, just talk to me about how the team played overall today.
I thought our kids played hard. It was hot for March. What's today? March 15th. So it was extremely hot. It felt even hotter on the field. And I thought the kids competed really hard. Just first and foremost, the Bullis. They're well coached. They have a heck of a goalie, some great defensemen, some nice pieces that our kids were up for the challenge. It took us a while to figure that goalie out, but I thought this was kind of an off-season game. You know what I mean? Where you work so hard in the off-season and you keep reminding the kids why you got up so early. It's hot, it's early, and we've got to be just endure a lot of things throughout the game.
I mean, obviously a lot of people thought this game was going to be closer than it was. What do you attribute your guys playing so well today?
I haven't thought about it yet. I just, you're right. You bring up the closeness of these games with Bullis. I think in the last 7 years it's been either a 1-goal difference or 2 goals, and I wasn't expecting that. But I felt like it was close all the way until they played a heck of a defensive game, even in the third quarter. I mean, we tied the third quarter. I think it was 6-2 at the end of that quarter, 6-1, and it just didn't feel like we had figured them out yet. And then we just kept grinding and found the back of the net. So,
okay, Alex,
I'm proud.
Go.
All right, and where do you guys go from here?
No rest for the weary here. We got a practice tomorrow, and we play St. Albans, another IAC team, well-coached team, on Saturday here at the DC Classic at Gonzaga. There'll be 4 games, and so we gotta get some rest and get ready to prepare for that one tomorrow. Thanks, appreciate it.
Coreboy.
All right, I'm here with Alex Coreboy, sorry. First off, just tell me about the overall thoughts of the game, how the team played.
I thought the team played really well. We got really prepared for this game. We knew that they were going to throw at us, and everybody executed really well. I thought everybody played really well as a team.
All right, you guys definitely had a lot of guys step up big for you today. What does that say about your team that you're able to come out and have multiple guys step up big for you?
Right, I think we had a lot of scores today. Coming off our second line middies, they played really well. Joe Fitzpatrick, Jimmy Kuzma, they stepped up big, and I think that's why we were able to win by so much today.
All right, obviously, people thought that this game was going to be a little closer than it was. How does that hard work you guys have put in all offseason, how does that feel to pay off today?
Feels really good. We came in the morning, we worked out hard, we got ready. So I think showing that winning by 2 last year and then coming out and winning by 10, it's a big improvement since last year.
All right,
back
so
to you guys.
Getting to hear a lot from some of the stars of the game, and of course, Coach O'Neill as well has to be really happy with how his team played. But looking ahead, he knows that the road's going to be tough for them.
Sure. I mean, like I said, he has a very hard schedule. They have St. Albans this week. They have Paul VI, I believe, next week, who's extremely strong this year. And the rest of the WCAC will see this game now and realize they got a lot of work to do to battle Gonzaga for the WCAC title.
All right, well, that will do it for us here today. Again, Gonzaga with a huge win over Bullis. For Cab Maddox and Brandon Roth, I'm Monica Moore. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you for the next installment of the Metro Lac Series at WashingtonPost.com.